Welcome to your Transfer Bonanza, the show where we carry on regardless when Ian Smith doesn't turn up. We've even got rid of his chair. He's literally that redundant to this show. Right, let's talk about what's happening in the world of transfers. We've got a wonderful quote from Louis van Gaal. This is it. We're doing well, but we're looking for defenders. Defenders have gone and we need to replace them. But I like Blackett and Keane. Now, we all like Blackett and Keane, all of us. However, they aren't realistically a proper replacement for Nemanja Vidic and Rio Ferdinand. We need to buy some proper defenders. So let's talk about the players we always link to. Daily Blind, literally no news. The papers haven't even bothered to lie and make stuff up this week. They've just gone, can't be bothered, it's the summer holidays, and they've done nothing. So there's no news on him. Thomas Vermaelen, there is news. The news is apparently we're going to get him for free by swapping Nani for him. This story comes from the Metro, who report us, they say, opening line, so the Express are saying, so far this is what we've got. The Metro are saying, the Express are saying, we're going to get Vermaelen and Mats Hummels for free by swapping Nani with Vermaelen and Kagawa with Hummels. Let that sink in. It's just ridiculous. Right, that is actually British journalism. A paper reporting bollocks. Right, moving on. So that's it with defenders, by the way. That's literally it. Let's see. Vidal, the hideous, most tedious transfer saga of the summer, continues to rumble on. Juve say that he's not going to be sold, but I mean, the day before we bought Herrera, Bilbao came out and said he's not being sold. They've got to appease their fans. They will do that. Vidal is very much sitting on the fence. He's sort of still saying, well, you know, I quite like it at Juventus. It's a nice place. Don't really mind if I'm there, if I go somewhere else. So there's just nothing. There's just nothing in it. And it might be that this deal is all wrapped up and that's it. It's sorted. It's just a wait for crossing the I's and dotting the T's. But there isn't anything. There's no proper news with this. Nothing. So whatever you read, I don't know why you're still reading it. It does my head in. Right. Moving on to Angel Di Maria, who I would really like us to buy, but it looks very much like he's going to Paris Saint-Germain. And if he does, they will probably need to offload some players because of financial fair play. One of those players has been linked to us, and that is Edson Cavani. Do we want him? I think probably not, but he's very good at football, so it's not the end of the world. Other players who are usually in the mix. Cuadrado, nothing happening. Depay, nothing happening. Marco Reus, something happening. According to the Daily Mail, he has rejected a new contract, which isn't strictly speaking true. As far as we can work out, it's through clauses in his current contract, and specifically his buyout clause, which next year will be 35 million. And if he'd renewed his contract at this time, it would have sent the buyout clause up. And we're thinking perhaps he wants to keep that low, keeping his options open, not sure what he wants to do. But it's not as clear cut as he's rejected a new contract. That's not really what's happened. It's quite lazy journalism. What a surprise from the Daily Mail. Now, who else? De Vrij. This will surprise you. We've been saying all year, De Vrij, he's going to Lazio. People keep telling us we might buy him. And guess what? He is now officially a Lazio player. It looked like perhaps he was hanging about, hoping that maybe he could get himself a move to Louis van Gaal's revolution at Manchester United, but it hasn't happened, and he has now finally joined Lazio, like we always knew he would. Now, players leaving. We'll start with Javier Hernandez. Loads of reports that the player is very much in demand. Nemanja Vidic wants him to join him at Inter Milan. He's come out and said, well, he's very professional, he scores loads of important goals, he's got European pedigree. But does a club buy a player because someone they've just bought used to play with that player and wants that player? I think almost definitely not, unless you are Liverpool and Lambert turns up and says, hey, Lallana's good, and then they buy Lallana, and Lallana says Lovren's good, and they just buy all of Southampton. Elsewhere, people who want Javier Hernandez, Diego Simeone at Atletico Madrid has come out and said that he's interested in him, kind of. Most of the papers are just going, hey, Simeone says he wants Hernandez. But what happened was somebody said to Simeone, Diego, what do you think of Javier Hernandez? Do you want to buy anyone like that? And Simeone has said, Hernandez is a great player. We want to buy great players. It's not really, he's not gone, right, here's what I promise you. I am going to try and sign Javier Hernandez. It's not really what's happened there. So he could be off. There's certainly teams who want him, but we're not sure, and I certainly hope he doesn't leave. Finally, Marouane Fellaini. According to Dello Sport today, he has agreed to join Napoli. That's just a newspaper. I mean, that doesn't mean anything. We've learned that from all these other newspapers. But apparently, Napoli very much interested, and Fellaini has agreed to go there. An alleged fee of about 19 million euros, which would see us lose about half the money we bought him for. Is this fair? Well, no one really knows. Fellaini's had a bad season, hasn't he? That's fair to say. But he has been injured, and everybody had a bad season last year. So could he have done well? Probably not. And then the papers have gone, well, Fellaini, he was rubbish at Manchester United under David Moyes, just like everybody else. Better get him gone. sort of a bit harsh on Fellaini, I think. Whether he stays or goes, he has sort of had a very bad year, but so has everybody. And he's been made a bit of a scapegoat, an Afro'd scapegoat. That was your transfer bonanza.